Okay.
Alrighty, so good morning and welcome this morning to the show by Intentional Parenting Journey. If you're here, you can see me, you can hear me. Let me see your comment right in the comment section telling me that you can see us and that you can hear us. It is my Intentional Parenting Journey 2023. 2023. I've
Something, yeah.
run through to 2024 already. So the academy year starts on the 1st of December. So we're almost rounding up. We'll have just 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're
Yeah.
welcome. You're welcome to become my intentional parenting journey 2023. And this is a journey where yadas are the parents in the inner circle. They are sharing with us their journey and how they have been able to throttle through the academy. Today we have Oparemi Blessing. I was speaking to Blessing the first time I'm going to be hearing her journey. All right. I've said before that for every person who is able to come live here, it means that most of them, I haven't even heard how they got to TIP, what has happened to them, and all of that. So, Blessing is going to be sharing with us how she got in here. That's the first thing that we want to actually hear. How did you get to meet the Intentional Parent Academy? How did you hear about the inner circle? How long have you been here? Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning, Coach. I'm so excited to be here this morning. I am so grateful for the privilege. God bless you, Ma. Thank you so much for the work you are doing. It's so amazing. In fact, let's even go into the work you are doing. So I got into the inner circle through a friend. I'm a toddler mom, and you might say, what's wrong with this one? What is chasing her? What does she want? I'm a toddler mom. Oh, I'm not joining inner circle yet. What are they doing? My baby is still small. Don't even kid yourself. Don't even say that at all. I When I gave birth to my boy, I discovered a lot of things that personally, as a parent, I've not seen before. So I felt within myself that there will be more, and there is something that I can do to alleviate this particular situation. He's not a special need child, but then, like, I don't know who I was parenting. I don't know who the boy is. He has a lot of characters, behaviors that a baby, you'll be surprised when you see him display those things. So I knew I was doing some things that were wrong because I can beat. Like the first time I met you, coach, I said in my own family, I know some of them might be here on this stream, but I don't know yet. Our own voice, this normal voice of every human being is not our own voice. When we talk, you can hear our voice in the third house, and we call it normal. So I yell, I beat, I shout at a toddler. So a friend of mine just chatted me one day, and that is the divine aspect of the inner circle. And she said, "Can you check this up?" Okay. So I went there and I looked up for my TIP, the Intentional Parents, on YouTube. I subscribed. I started scrolling up, and I was seeing so many things, so many videos, because that was why Coach Wendy called that YouTube channel the Parenting Netflix. It is indeed the Parenting Netflix. You can't exhaust all the videos in that in that channel. So I started following, I started listening to Tuesday Live, you know. I picked one or two things here. But like Coach would say, parenting is not in the tips and acts. No, it is not. It is in the process. It is in the consistency of what you're doing every day, every time, every hour, what you're thinking in your head, what you're thinking about your process and all. So, and like there are lots of courses in the inner circle. So I registered for one of the courses at that time. I think no yelling challenge. Yes. So I must confess, I'm like, eh. So during the no yelling challenge, a lot of things came up about inner circle. I'm like, what did they do in this inner circle? Then there's a fee attached. What do I do? I still didn't join. I was still applying for some courses as well. I still didn't join the inner circle. But I did indeed saw that it is in the process. It is in the process. Those things you do every day. It is in those things you hear, those things that ring in your head, what you know that would really help you on this journey. So I was just following once in a while, sometimes you relax, sometimes you feel like I just decided one day and said, this inner circle, let me just try it because I'm still not satisfied with the result I'm getting on this child. And then I joined last year. This is my second year in level one. So I joined, let me say, okay, was it 2 years ago, December? So I joined, and the rest there, coach. I just thank God. I'm actually short of words this morning. And when I was granted this session, I said, no, I want her to come and tell the entire world that will be listening to me today that no, TIP is beyond the expectation that you are actually looking forward to. So I joined through a friend, and still now, coach, only God can help me say thank you to you. Not just for my child, because like I said, I was there, my child was doing this, he was doing that. It was for me. So the journey from day one till today and forever was for me. It was just a transformational experience from day one for me. So that was how I joined the inner circle. I can't hear you, coach.
Sorry.
Okay.
Amazing, amazing. Blessing is sharing with us her journey. She's a toddler mom, and I'm sure she spoke to us how she, just looked at it and just felt, what, this thing, I don't think this thing is for me yet. My child is still small. Let me just be doing all those people that do courses every year. I have those people. They come, they register for every course. So, they are part of the academy. Like they register for all the courses. No yelling challenge, sex educate your child like a pro. In fact, they come to me, they say, Coach, I've done this course, I've done sometimes. When they have problem, they come and say, Coach, I've done all your courses, but
Oh,
there's still something, it's not working. There's still,
uh,
and I tell them, I say, you need a process, you need an accountability. Some
yes,
of them
yes,
agree, some of them just
yes.
say, she just wants to collect our money the more.
Mm, okay.
Thank you so much for joining me. Blessing. This will be Blessing second year in the academy, in the first year.
Yes.
And she's sharing her journey with us. So, Blessing, let's get into this journey. Can you tell us what difference has this made? You were one of those who were perpetual course takers of the academy, and you now eventually are in the inner circle. What's the difference? What difference does it make?
Coach, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you, ma. When they are doing promotion in the markets, my job is not the one that you sit down and press system. No, I have a lot to actually say about myself and to those that are outside watching me, who are still thinking in their head that should they join or should they not join. So some promos are buy one get one free, right? So I came into the yard saying, my boy, I need to get this guy to start doing this. I need to get him to sit down. He cannot focus. He cannot do this. So I paid for one and I get people free because I came in because of my child. I got my home more settled and calm. I got myself to understand who I am. Coach will always say something that um, who parents you, the environment in which you're parented, and what those that parent you know is what determines your life. Now, that one is not so impacting. There was a statement she made one day, and she said, during one of our webinars, she said, where your parents stop fighting, that is where you will start the war. So if your parents has not even fought any war at all, it means you are going to start your own fresh. And you know that what you know is what you will use to fight. You can't go to the battle empty-handed. You can't go to the battle unprepared. You can't go to the battlefront. You will be defeated. So it is that thing that you know in your head Those you can think through your process is what would make you. We have, I can't say, in fact, I can't even really pinpoint a particular thing that I would say, it's just this area of my life that was positively affected. I can see situations now, I start talking, and you'll be like, is this blessing? Oh, yes, it is blessing. Transformed by TIP Inner Circle. The way I see things, in fact, if I want to dress, I will look at myself again that, will Coach Wendy see me and say, I'm a yada like this? If I want to watch film, like even if I have the time, if I want to watch film, I will watch Yadarically, because you watch film and say, this is how this should. No. These are just, anyway, it's Nigerian movie. Because even in the yard, there are movies you can watch and there are movies you cannot watch. It has transformed my spiritual life. And that aspect, I really want to hammer it in this session. There's a spirit that backs up anyone in TIP Inner Circle. There is the Holy Spirit backs everything that is done. I say that I got into the yard by the Holy Spirit. And my spiritual life got a turnaround. When the pastor is preaching, there's a view in my head. Why? Because I've been expounded in my mind by the weekly webinars. Is it the daily voice notes? Is it the sessions? See, okay, let me leave that one. My home. Oh my goodness. There are times your husband, you don't need to talk to your husband. There are times you should talk to your husband. I learned that in the yard. When it comes to consistency, showing up, how you show up, and where you show up, you don't belong to everywhere. Coach told us something in my first year in the Inner Circle. She said, you don't really need to prove anything to anybody. Why are parents always running up in the Nigerian palace, like she used to say, and you are running up and down? Oh, because they must see that is my child, and you are running without knowledge. What kind of race are you running? Coach, this Inner Circle has affected my spiritual life, my physical life, my spiritual life, my emotional life. I'm a sanguine. And when we read the book, Why You Act the Way You Do by Tim LaHaye in February, that book in my first year, I really didn't finish it completely. So this year, I finished it and saw myself really, really well, where I'm lacking behind and where I needed to actually brace up. It affected the way I see my spouse, my friends. I don't need to prove anything to anybody. Say what you want to say. I am in a place where there's accountability. If I'm lacking behind, before I even say it, somebody will bring it up in the yard. And then there's a correction to my behavior. When I first joined, some of my friends had to come upstairs where I work. And they told me that, am I sick? What happened? We didn't see you downstairs. You didn't come and play. You are not up and everywhere. The way you're even doing. I'm like, hey, I'm not sick. Oh, nothing is actually wrong with me. But I'm trying to manage my time. Because that 24 hours, coach said, so it is more than enough for us if we manage it properly. So sorry. So which aspect of my life has it been affected? Which aspects? When the Holy Spirit backs something up, when the Lord backs something up, it leaves the normal realm. That is what we experience in the Inner Circle. It leaves the natural realm, and I shout it on top of my voice anywhere I go. Now I can stand in front of anybody. Hey, my child is just too aggressive. I think he's autistic. I think he's suffering from ADHD. Coach, you say your child is not suffering from ADHD. You are the problem. I was speaking with someone yesterday in my son's school, and the man said, I said, my coach will say, I've learned when I'm talking, a pin, if it falls to the ground, you people must hear. Do you know what that means? You can't do all this if you are not in a system where there is process. You can't do all this if you are not in a place where there's accountability. TIP Inner Circle will give you that thing. So when you think, I'm even stressed, I'm tired, like I should just give up. Okay, the next voice you hear is the voice of coach. And she will tell you, oh, are you sleeping? Are you already dozing off? Can you start up on this journey? Can you start running? And you'll be like, I'm not a toddler mom now. All this thing, are you stressing yourself? No, don't just say that. Because it's not for that your toddler. It is for you yourself. See, happiness circle has affected my life in 360 degrees. In ways that the way I see things, the way I see situations, the way I see circumstances, the way I see challenges, coach will tell you, you think I don't have challenges, Abby? Forget, guys. Come and ask me. You will. So if she's facing challenges and she's like this, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? So I started shouting. In fact, when I started inviting friends and I saw a lot of them that came on board, coach, I was very happy. There's a way you will talk in the yard, and the yarder will understand you. Like I said, if you talk yardarically, a yarder will understand you. If you want to do a particular thing and the person around you or in your surroundings, they are yarders. We call ourselves yarders. Please don't be jealous. So if you're not in the yard, you can come and join us. So if you talk and some people don't understand you, if a yarder is beside you, the yarder will understand you. A friend of mine wanted to share a news with me recently, and she said, I know you would understand this statement. I don't want to do it, but I just have to do it. So thing happened. I said, my dear, she's a yarder too. I said, my dear, I understand. Don't worry. That is how we flow. So would you want to come in and see that transformation in your spirit, man? I've dreamt about coach several times. She flogged me. She flogged me. Why? Because I'm this, pra, 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 pra. Man, just sit down. My boy, sit there. You do this. You will calm down. You will calm. When you know that somebody is watching you. And for the records, my 3-year-old is not your regular 3-year-old. No. It's not your regular. And you'll be like, 3-year-old. What does he need to know? There are privileges I didn't get to have because those that parented me didn't know what I am knowing now. So if I wanted to do it the right way, I needed extra knowledge to actually be in that position. If I wanted to do it the better way, I needed a system that can follow me up. And please, there is nothing I want to prove to you. No, I don't want to prove anything. But this particular process, I've seen results. My 3-year-old, if you put plates inside of him, he will wash and tell you, Mommy, put soap. You wash and keep washing and keep washing. There was a time I was like, oh, God, don't waste my water now. Then I discussed with the yada. She said, let him waste your water. Let him waste your water. Let him keep doing it. Because there's a window period for every of their behaviors and activities. There is a window period for it. I would have lost the window period if I wasn't in the inner circle and do it the general way. Maybe it's parenting. What is there? Yeah, let's just do it. If you are doing it the right way, it is hard. Because the last conference we had, the theme is parenting is war. If you can't do it the right way, and you not tell me that it's easy. No, never. Except you lead your children to chances. So please, if you're a toddler mom, a baby, in fact, if your baby is inside the womb, it is no, what am I even saying? If you are a single, this is the right time that you should come into the TIP inner circle because you'll be transformed 360 degrees and you'll be wondering, God, where have I been all these years? Where have I been? Am I been sleeping? It is time to wake up. Coach, inner circle, TIP inner circle, we give you that 360-degree expectation you are looking for. In your business, it will affect it. The way you sell. I look at coach and say, how will she sell now? Yes, this thing will carry it on her head like market and we'll go and sell it. How will she sell? She's showing up to your face every day, back to back. Voice note, Instagram, this one. What's your general emotions? You're getting challenge. From this Instagram, from the, you will sell. And you can't carry your business like that and you will not sell. So please tell me, what else do I need? Something is transforming me 360 degrees in my finances, in my home, or my child, in my spiritual journey, even in my business. So please tell me, why won't you want to come and partner into that with that place that can transform your life 360 degrees? And mind you, I'm not overhyping things. Come in and see what I'm actually saying. Thank you, coach.
Wow! Now we have, I think we need a TIP inner circle dictionary. Please, who is compiling a dictionary for us? We're no longer we're no longer doing this thing anyhow. Biko Omolola Okewo, Coach Omala, I think you should get a dictionary for us. Now we have a new word. Are you doing things yadarically? Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not kill me. There's nothing,
In fact,
there's no word. The other day I was teaching and I said you need to be able to embrace your messiahness. And I saw in the comment section, new word alert, new word alert, Messiah.
That's
No,
the inspiration.
this is Yadarikali. What a word. Are you here? Are you here? Somebody says sanguine yadas. Obviously, blessing is such a vibe. This is the kind of person you are in a room with, and you're like, yeah. Thank you
Thank you,
so much
God.
for sharing your journey with us. And there was something that Blessing said that is a key aspect, all right? A key aspect of the journey, all right, that she's going through. For me, one of the things that she said was about the spirituality. And it's somebody
Yes.
that said that the inner circle is spiritual for me because parenting is a spiritual journey. So
Mm-hmm.
when people tell me that, oh, you just need to, when I just read the Bible, I know what it is. I need to parent my child with. You're not a spiritual person. Maybe you're not a pastor, so you're not supposed to be. I laugh because the truth of the matter is that there are people who are called for a time. And in this dispensation, I'm not even respectfully speaking to everybody who is in the industry. In this dispensation, some of us are called not just given to knowledge, but called to deliver, to be able to
Yes.
touch your spirit man.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I might not be, telling you that, ringing bell and telling you that I'm a pastor, yeah, and that. But if you're in the inner circle, you will know that there is, a spiritual aspect of your life that needs
Seriously.
to be fixed, even if you're a pastor. Because I have
Mm-hmm.
pastors in the academy, a whole lot of them, ministers of
Mm-hmm.
the gospel,
Mm-hmm.
who come back to me to ask me some of these insights. I've not even been able to um, you
Mm.
know uh, conceptualize them, see them. Sometimes it's not even me. I finish, I go
Mm.
back to listening to myself, and I'm like, okay, woman, what did you just say? All right. So when it comes to the inner circle, it's a spiritual journey, whether you're a Christian or a Muslim. That's the beauty. That's the beauty. It is, holy, holy, spiritual. And it's not, we're not there, we don't kabash or pray, but you will be praying. You'll be praying through your process. You will know. We don't tell you, oh, come for prayer meeting, come for laying of hands, but from the beginning to the end, you will know that you have been laid hand upon and that you have transformed in real terms. Yesterday, I was in a session, our review session with a Yada whose first son was 21 when she joined the inner circle. And she said to me, she lives abroad. She said to
Mm.
me, she said, Coach, when she's going to come, I think in 2 weeks to come and share her journey, she said to me, she said, Coach, when I joined the inner circle, my son told me, what are you trying to do? It's too late. You have finished
Mm.
your life. You have finished whatever it is that we have seen. And you will just take it like that. It's too late. She said, no. She said,
Mm.
even if it's too late for my own journey, it will not be too late for your own journey. So I can teach you.
Mm. Yeah.
And she said that was what prompted her to join the academy. She said, 2 years down the line, the academy, the results are so seamless. I was listening to her result. I was like, what?
Mm.
She said, "Coach, let me come and share. People don't understand. And this is me who has walked a journey with adult children. The second was
Mm.
19, the other one was 18. So adult children. She wasn't parenting children, small children. She said some of the tools that were shared that I thought only my toddlers would understand, painting, reading. She said, you know now, I can read to my 23-year-old. He said, my
Wow.
relationship with them has taken a total turn.
Mm.
When she was talking, and she mentioned the spiritual angle to it, and she said, I am also in ministry. I'm also a minister. And I get into the inner circle, and it's as if my well does not end. It just doesn't end. So the spiritual aspect of being in the inner circle cannot be explained. I do not think anybody has words to be able to tell you this is what happened when you get it. And there was also something that Blessed mentioned. She talked about parenting is war. Where you stop is where the
Ah,
next generation will be.
oh, yes.
That's why you have seen that there are people that find things easier than the other people. It is not
Yes.
because of anything, it's just that the wars that their parents have fought, they don't need to fight.
Mm-hmm.
They do not need to fight. If you go to the
Mm.
scriptures, you will see the story of Nehemiah and Solomon. The fight that Nehemiah was fighting, he had no business fighting it. It's a fight that a generation didn't fight. Moses was a humble fellow. The Bible says that he's the meekest man on planet Earth.
Yes.
Yet, Moses had anger issues. Do you know that that was because he was coming from the lineage of the Levites, where anger was a thing? The
Mm.
fight that was not fought by a previous generation, 14
Mm.
generations down the line, he hit a man, a mighty man of valor.
Yes.
Guys, if you do not fight that war today, years later, your children will fight it, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren. That's why when you come into a learning system, some people are finding it easy, some people are struggling through it because the wars your parents have fought, you don't fight. The wars your parents have not fought, you will continue to fight it. So the earlier you actually take on those wars, take on your tools and go to war, the better for you. I was reading an article by Daddy Joe where he said he went to minister with another junior minister somewhere, and the guy was playing table tennis, drinking tea, playing golf, and all of that. And he was wondering, me, I'm here, Kabashin, is a spiritual journey. Why do I need to? Why is it that this guy is just having a free life? As in, the guy is not praying, he's not preparing. Me, I'm here, I'm doing fasting. This guy is drinking tea and he's playing golf. He said the Holy Spirit said to him, this guy's grandfather paid a price on his head. He doesn't need to struggle like you.
Mm.
Ah, yeah. See, some of the things
Mm.
that children are doing, struggling with, is because a father, a mother, somebody in the lineage has paid the price. Some of us, our children, our grandchildren might not need to do all of these bravadosh. And you're thinking, why is life so easy? Why are things working so like this? What is
Mm.
happening to the child? You do
Mm.
not understand that somebody has paid a price they don't need to pay again. That's it. That's why it's a war. It's a war. It's a war for your generation. It's a war for your children, your children's children. The war you don't fight today, your children will fight tomorrow. Anything you make an option today becomes dead in the next generation. So you need to understand that paying the price now can save your generation all of the trouble, can save your children all of the wahala. Right? Thank you so much for joining me. Blessing. I don't even know how I entered that place and started talking about it. All right. So thank you, Blessing. Thank you.
That is what we
Blessing
are
is
saying.
Blessing is sharing her journey in the inner circle and what has happened to her. Blessing have said, this has transformed my life 360 degrees. So did I tell you that Blessing's book review is usually awesome? Have you ever seen Blessing do book review? Amazing. I think when sanguines begin to reform themselves, they fly like they fly. Thank you so much for joining us. So tell us, all right, on your journey. Um, I want you to share with us in specific terms how has this transformed your marriage, particularly. Where were you before, who you were, and what is happening today? Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Coach. God bless you. Like I said, when you don't even know yourself, how do you want to know the person you're working with?
Hmm.
How? So, when I got into the inner circle, I discovered I knew I was a sanguine, but not detailed. You get. So I got to know myself better. It's a process, so I'm still under process. I'm not saying I'm on a perfect journey. And then I got to know my husband also more better. We were I salute your majesties Ma and Governor Kunle Ologe. You introduced us to, I think, okay, there were sessions we had with Governor in my first year, but it wasn't so. I didn't really feel it that much until when I joined, when I repeated level one this year, and Governor came to have sessions with us in the yard. Mind you, coach used to pay for those sessions. So when he's talking, a lot of things. Then he said we should join the Marriage Seal Academy. It's they don't beg you to do these things. You would see yourself that you really need them, and they won't plead with you. But when you join, that is when you know that your life will be transformed. Then I got to know my husband and things that I have never. It's close to 8 years now that we've been married, and things that I have never had or seen with my husband. Then I knew how to communicate with him. Sanguines. Sometimes we don't even take cognizance of things. We just pam, 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 and we are going. So I knew that I discovered that if you are not more calmer, my husband is melancholy. Coach, did you see that opposite? I am sanguine, is male. Hey, Jesus, that's my dominant temperament, and that's his own dominant temperament. So if the way he sits to read, listen, the way he reasons, a sanguine cannot even comprehend, because melancholies, I was able to know in the yard that they are born leaders only if helped by their parents. And that is the word that we are talking about. If helped their parents when they were growing up. And you discover that, like, now I know my child is sanguine, is a kinesthetic learner, his love language is quality time. For now, all those things I'm saying for now. Don't be surprised that I'm saying all this. It is what I learned from the yard and I discovered about my child. You can say he's a small boy, but those things made me help him on his own journey. Being kinesthetic, he wants to hold this one and talk. He wants to raise his leg to the wall when you are reading for him, and he wants to put his head like this. And you would have slapped him and said, "What? I'm reading for you, and you are not sitting. Sit down properly." No, the only thing you need is to understand them and work with them. Just lovingly tell him to sit down. We are reading. Don't you think? So I got to know my husband. My home became more peaceful. My home became more peaceful. Coach, before, his anger issues, I know I have it. I discovered when I was in the yard. Yes, I do. But then, when you receive bars goes left and right, and the coach will not even, this smiling coach doesn't smile in the yard like that. Too. If you are coming inside the yard, I'm just trying to prepare your mind. She's smiling, yeah, she's laughing. She doesn't really smile at us like that. Because when you are done with every session, you sit down, think, sit down, rethink that, am I sure I'm still on earth or I've left this red? Yes, I'm yet to join the couples conclave, but the flow in TIP inner circle that affected my own made me know how to talk to my husband, know when to talk to my husband, and then my home experienced more peace. Especially that time when Coach Jose came to teach us about peace as a skill. You are frowning your face and you wanted to talk a peaceful thing to your husband. They don't look alike now. They don't correlate. It's not the same thing. You wanted to talk to your husband at the wrong time. You yourself, you've not tasted peace. You want to embrace peace. It cannot work. It's not, you can't give what you don't have. Now, I can say sorry. My husband can say sorry, like we want to even joke. Sorry, sorry, it's fine. It's just sorry. And I'm a sanguine. I can say I'm a sanguine that the Holy Spirit has worked upon. That Holy Spirit that is residing and hovering on us in the inner circle. It has worked and it's still working on me. Because I'm not saying I'm perfect yet. But it has helped my family. And I saw tremendous changes. Tremendous changes that when I got married, I didn't even know. At that age, I didn't even know anything. But you just enter, got married. Go to school, piam. Just start working, look for a job, piam. No. TIP inner circle will teach you that there's a process to everything. An 18-year anyway, there's something that we will say and you may not understand. 18-year-old is done from school and is now in the university, and you are thinking, oh my god, my child is running, he's doing fine. What are the skills that that child has? Can that child actually sit in an interview session and compose herself or himself? Does that child have skills? Now, I myself and my husband can plan. We can plan our finances. We can sit together and decide on what we want to do. I can, MD, and please, can we do? Oh my goodness, it's still a surprise to me that such can happen. You can come to my house and you don't even know anything is going on. We resolve our conflict the same day. It doesn't sleep to the next day. Never. It will not. It will not. It's one of our resolution. When we were crafting our values, media plan, your vision, mission statement, the previous year I crafted, I didn't hang it. This year I crafted. I said, see, I would hang it, and I hang it at the entrance of our door in a frame like this, so everybody sees it when they are going out and they are coming in. How will that home not be blessed? And I told coach when I saw the couples retreat that was just concluded, I said, hey, this conclave, we are coming. This peppering that you peppered us like 2 weeks ago, you almost not made us sleep. It was just great. And that couples conclave is an arm of the Marriage Seal Academy. If you are hearing me, don't just come and join conclave only. Join inner circle. When you are done, enter the Marriage Seal Academy. From there, enter couples conclave. Your life can never remain the same. Like my home is not the same. We don't operate it like now we have a constant time we pray as a family. If my husband is not around, he prays on the phone with us. Not that hey, I'm in Benin, you are in Asaba, or you are in Wari. You pray there. I will pray my own to here. No, inner circle made me realize that there's a constant time you should be praying for your family, for your children, for your life. I set alarm on my small phone every 12 p.m. When it rings. It's time for prayer. Whether I'm at work or I'm busy or something, I will pray it. If I can't shout or I can't talk, I will pray it in my mind. That's what the IPNS circle has taught me. Yes. So I pray for my husband. I pray for my child. I pray for myself. There is a meaning to what I say. I get meaning. I get meaning in my mind to what I say. I don't just say words without, I don't even know what I'm saying. When you're in the yard, your pastor is ministering. No, I'm not saying anything wrong about anybody. There's a meaning you give to what your pastor is saying. There's a transformational meaning to what your pastor is saying. You know, the last time we had about transformation and transactional family. And then I went to my husband and said, transactions and transformation, they are both good, but they have different meanings. And then we started talking because most homes, I can say 75 or 80% are operating a transactional family system. And that
Yeah.
was where we were raised. Those were places we were raised. So what do we want to give our children? What do we want to leave for our spouses? What do we want to show the world? It should be a transformational home. It should be transformational lifestyle. Now I can connect with my husband on a better level. I can connect with my child on a better and spiritual level. In fact, there are skills my husband is learning as he is, and my child is small. What can he do? Oh wow, he can do a lot. He can do thousands. He can mop spills. My child will mop because we have rules, house rules that we pasted in the house. If you enter my house, we start reading. We have a very small passage. That passage is filled with pasted things. Course you should achieve at so age is there. I told him before he clocked 3. If you don't attain if you don't achieve these skills, uncle, you're not doing birthday. If you achieve these skills, you will do birthday. Yes. There's no where he's going now. Maybe he's under your tutelage. You can't mop spills, you can't eat properly, you can't when you make a mess, you can't clean up yourself, you can't do this at 3. No, when you achieve these things, you do your birthday. You see our bros, you think they don't hear? They hear you. Those kids, they hear you. Pam pam pam, uncle is mopping. Pam pam pam, he's doing this just because he wanted to do something. So back to where I was saying, inner circle has affected my family deeply, deeply. I can talk to my husband, and we don't have to. Then we argue, we disagree to agree. And that is what inner circle will give you. The way you should talk. I don't know if coach knows. Your perspective about life. Even if you're learned, you're a PhD, 1, 2, 3 older, and you come to the inner circle, just come like, let's see what they want to do. Come in. Your perspective about life will change. Your perspective about situations will change. Your meanings, the way you see things, the way you would approach it will change. This is not a pre-session. Maybe coach has already pre-talked, she has talked to us before. No, I'm saying what is happening live and direct inside CIP inner circle. If you see spouses that are having issues, in fact, you can go and address, you can go and you can stand to talk to them because they would listen to you because the words you want to say is seasoned already. There is an information in what you want to say. There is substance in that word that you want to give to them. My marriage, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, inner circle. Thank you, coach. Experienced what I say, God Himself. We can pray, we can hold our hands, we can have sessions. You will fast, though, when you get in that circle. There are things that coach will say. She doesn't need to spell it out, like go and eat. She wouldn't need to spell it out, but you would have picked what she's telling you. She wouldn't need to spell it out to you that you need to do this. But when she's saying it, if you're connected, you will grab what she's saying. So I really thank God the spiritual aspect, there is this horror, yes, in my home. Early in the morning when we're praying for school, whether my husband is around or he's not around, there's no shouting, no. If it's my husband, there's a lot that I can actually say. But before, if you see the way I beat my child, you will call me mad. You will say I'm mad. You will tell me I am mad. Yes, I'm serious. You will tell me that I'm mad. But then I just knew that there is more to this. There should be a way to the gate. There should be a way to that gate. TIP gave me the entrance, gave me the gate. Oh my goodness. Gave me the road that leads to the gates. And when you are plugged in, you wouldn't want to go out. Trust me. I've booked my session for 2024. And I'm already saving up. Before December, I should be able to finish up this time around. That is just how it works. You stay committed on the process. You get all those things. You get all the milking. My family is not the same from where I was coming from. Yes. Nobody tutored us. Nobody taught us. TIP would teach you to teach. TIP would help you to start teaching. And even if you are teaching, it will help your teaching process. Even if you are a teacher and you are in the inner circle, the school you are teaching will know that something has happened to you. That one is constant. Okay? I also brought my child's school. No, let me even, when we get to webinars, I'll talk about that one. I brought my child's school on board. I registered them for some sessions. I got engaged with my child's teacher. There is a knowledge that when you're talking to people, they will know that somebody is talking. And that's what gives us life. It gives us life. This is life. God has given us. We are breathing, right? But there's a life that God even expects. When God breathed into Adam and Eve, He said He breathed into them and they became living, Abby. Yes. But there's a life that comes into you that you get from TIP inner circle. I don't know how to express it, but there's a life. Come in and express what I'm saying. No matter the level of your suit, no matter how big, come in first. Just say, let me just see what they want to say and do in that place. And do 30% of whatever you are being taught by Coach Wendy. Then come back and give me the testimony. You'll be one of those that will be sharing their live sessions. That is just what I've experienced. So it has been transformational that way.
Amazing. Someone said that the man with an experience have no dragging, no argument with the man with an argument. Experience. When you bring experience and the man that comes with argument, no matter how sophisticated the argument is, experience, messes up any kind of argument. My father in the Lord will say that it's only fools that doubt proves. You sit down, you look at proofs, you just, you doubt it. That's only fools that actually do that. Amazing, amazing journey Blessing has shared. I am, somebody said I'm happy I didn't miss the session. I'm also happy that she's sharing this session with us. All right. And the inner circle transforms. I know it's not by me. You know, many times when I'm talking to Yadas, I say, this is not me. Forget about me. Somewhere in your head, just think about it that this little girl is not there. All right. Just remove her, all right, from your head and
Little
just
girl, no, little.
and hear what God actually speaks to you. You know, I say always that there is information everywhere. There's information
Mm,
everywhere, but there is wisdom. And when you
mm,
assess wisdom, when you speak, I say it all the time. I get in the crowd and there is a noise. I open my
mm.
mouth to speak. You hear the sound of the pin. You're going to actually literally hear a pin drop, because it's not just because I know how to talk. No, it is because there is a wisdom backing to what you're saying. And that's one of the things that you access in the inner circle. Right? Results actually cancels argument. There's really no. So when people say, "Oh, are you sure this is going to really help me? Are you sure what they are sharing?" I say, "No, don't worry. I will bring people who will share their results." And I think that is, a very key thing. So the man with experience has no argument with the man with an argument. There's nothing joining the two of you together. It's okay, your argument is okay, but my experience is one key factor. So blessed. Let us get into the webinars. Emma, it's usually a tough call to ask others, what is that webinar that changed your life? But we're going to ask, what is that webinar that changed your life? One, two, three, if you may. Go ahead.
Webinars. There's no webinar in the year that you would listen to again. There is no one webinar that you can discard and say, this one is not really, who am I parenting? If you see my book on who am I parenting, I wrote, you will think I'm actually inscribing. Listened again, like, but up to like 6 times. I was listening because you wouldn't just see your child, you will see yourself too. You will see your friend, you see your manager in your office, you see your sister in that who am I parenting? And you think, who am I parenting? That one is for babies. It's not for babies, it's for everybody. In fact, if our senators, presidents, governors can come and listen, they would see themselves. And if you know who you are working with, your journey becomes better. Your journey becomes better. So, who am I parenting? Um, there's this particular one I don't want to forget. How to effectively plan yourself. Time management, time and stress management. Sanguines now. I don't want to be mentioning it too much. We can waste time doing nothing. You don't need. You really need to know where I'm coming from. Like sleep, wake, go to work, eat, cook. Like the wife sleep, wake, go to work. That is all. So I started, Circle made me start planning my life. Now I have a theme. I have a monthly theme for myself. I can think. I have a vision. I want to achieve. God Almighty. That piece as a skill. You see that point when Coach Jose placed a war environment, and he asked that when would we be going to war? They said those officers were to maintain peace, law, and order in that particular place, and all we have is guns in our hands. They physically do not even portray peace, but then you are saying they are here to maintain peace, to do this. That thing entered my head and stuck there. So if you want peace in your house, let the peace begin with you. Like they say during our last regime in the country, that the change we are looking for begins with us. The same thing is with parenting. That change you are looking for, mommy, daddy, it begins with you. All the webinars, coach, all the webinars. And you will listen to some. Sometimes, if I want to sleep well, I'm being sincere here. I need to listen to one of the webinars if I want to sleep well, because I won't do sleep. The sleep will not come. My eyes will just be open like this in the midnight. So I have to sit up and take my book and start writing. All the webinars back to back. That was when I knew my manager at work that, oh, so my boss is a sensitive person and my son is a courageous one. And I discovered I'm a sensitive child as well. The webinars will try it listening to those just starting, ordinary starting point of the webinars, you will know that what is she saying? Let me go back and listen to it again. And after listening, you still want to listen again and again and again. Like I said, I've listened to that webinar like 6 times. And I started managing my time. And then CIP NASEP is a community. Coach, don't worry. Oh. God is building armies. And when you are building armies, it's not a day thing. God is raising armies for the end, for this end time that we have, because it's going to still get worse than this. And that community, we are going to grow it. In my state, as we speak, we are like 6 in the yard, and I'm thankful to God that it's not by power, not by might. Sorry, I'm saying this. But then we are still going to increase more than this. I was so happy when I told my friend this one, okay, let's join. And when they joined, they're like, they didn't even know what to say. Because all these webinars back to back are life transforming. They are like you have a mind shift. Your mind would shift to what it has always been. Like the word of God said, and it came unto them, and the word of God became flesh. That webinar will become flesh. It will now live with you. So when you're working, you're saying, you shouldn't do this. You know what you had yesterday. You shouldn't talk like this. You should, because what you have had would actually help you. So when I'm wasting time and I'm with you, you are playing, you are gisting, that thing I will remember. Lesson, time, and stress management. Coach has time for a gym every day. She has time for live sessions, for Tuesday Live, for my parenting journey series, for our family, our children, our spouse, in these 24 hours. And she has other engagements. And she even has time for her friends. So it means 24 hours is enough. So I pick those things that I see that I'm lacking there. And that's what the answer could help me do. You don't pick be like in Revelation. Okay, sorry, I'm saying this. There are different kind of churches, the Berean, the this, the that. You pick that one that is meant for you. That one, that area that you could see yourself. I can analyze myself now. Yes, I can say so far my anger level, the way I get angry and piece of I'm up and everywhere, and I can, what's wrong with you? I can calmly talk to you and tell you I'm sorry at the end of the day. It doesn't make anything, it doesn't remove anything from me. Those webinars, back to back, sir, ma, they are life transforming. I can't even say it is one that has helped me. All of them. All. Because everything is actually meant for you. Like us like this, that we are trying our best to adjust our journey to become better. Everything is for us. So you don't now, what will not make you run kata, like coach will say, is to follow the process. And coach will not just leave you. She won't just leave you on the journey. Like, I've given them webinars, so let them go and find their ways. Let them go and, when we had this session, coach, marriage secrets.
Yes.
Do you remember that session?
Okay, I think Blessing is having a bit of a network issue, and I am sure that she will be able to return here. And Blessing Oparemi has been sharing my intentional parenting journey. This is one of those sessions you don't want to miss listening to. Blessing is a whole vibe. All right. I have one of my closest friends as sanguine. And when you sit down with a sanguine, you're like, oh, mom, you get up from your bed. They can just transform everything. Blessing is going to be back here to share. But there's something very interesting that Blessing was able to pick out here. She talked about profiling herself, right? Profile. And by the way, if you're just joining us, there's a new word alert. You do things yadarically. All right. And it's profiling yourself, being able, that's one of the things that Inner Circle does for you. So there's a series that I watched. I like to, I like, thinking series. I watch Blacklists, right? And I, watch it today. And I love the fact that the lead character, who is Reddington, was, so was able to use his intellect a lot and all of that. At the beginning of that journey, you talk about, you see how the daughter was able to, she was a profiling, I think she was a profiling expert. I was, looking at that thing yesterday again, and I saw that she was able to describe herself that other people cannot see. It is a deeper walk to knowing yourself. Welcome back, blessing. All right,
So
you
sorry.
have arrived and returned yadarically. Please continue.
Thank you, Coach. So sorry. I had a bit
No,
of network glitch. Like you
oh,
used to tell us that we've not
that's
manufactured one ourselves.
no,
So
no, no,
you
no,
use the
not our
one
fault.
that we have. When we had this how to teach safety education, and you even gave us the process on how to handle it. That's one of the webinars. There was this understanding the seasons of life. Oh my goodness.
Yomolola.
Understanding the seasons of life. That session, hey, I listened to it in the midnights. It was transforming. What season am I now? What am I supposed to do in the now? Where was I supposed to be? What am I, coach? Which of the webinars would I said I want to throw away? Like I said, Inner Circle made me. I can actually talk about myself. I can tell you where I'm still lagging behind. I can say it boldly because I don't have anything to prove to anybody. Because this is a process and it's my life. So you know, all those webinars are. If you just listen to 50%, I'm not saying 100%. Just listen to 50%, and you can say that it is not a thing you can actually dispel with your mouth. Building a family that lasts. So this year I crafted a curriculum, like Pastor Wisdom Osiri told us in the first end of year party that we had. I
Yeah,
wrote them down, and Pastor said, if you want a change, you definitely need a curriculum for that change. Students don't
yeah,
just go to school and we teach them pom 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 and they're writing exams. No, you hear first semester they will go through lectures before they write exams, and that is a normal process. But because we don't see our families as business, your coach will tell you it is a company. Oh, you are running a company. So if you like, run your company down, and somebody will come and buy it because you didn't manage it well, you didn't master it well, you didn't do well, you didn't build well. So, you know, I drafted something. I drafted going out, make out time. I crafted family fun time together this year. I crafted timetable on how to help in February. See, my February connection too. I don't know if I still have it here. I still have my February connection too because the major thing I'm handling my child on now is building focus and concentration. I have my connection tools here printed out in white and black. They must be printed and hanged, pasted in the house. Yes, that is how it's supposed to be. And that's how we can actually follow through in the process. This is my intentional parenting journey book. Spiral Banded. One of the yarders actually said, I did this. Listen, would you do this? I said, hey, so you can do this. And that's the community we are in. A community that you have an accountability in that particular community. That's why I said this is um this is a community that is growing, and in no time it will spread to the ends of the world. It will spread to the ends world. Yes, because if I can actually get this body of knowledge, I won't be able to contain it. I won't be fine. Until you dispel it, you get more. You dispel it, the other person gets it, and we keep connecting and connecting and connecting like that. Coach, all the webinars are amazing. Don't let's just say, hey, this is my favorite. No, all of them. And every other has something to say. no matter how
Yes,
little. Every
yes, yes,
year. And in that
yes.
community, somebody will push one of my accountability partner, Yada Hioma. She said, are you sleeping? Come. This, do you know, have you done this? Have you done this? Let's plan. Yes, you get that kind of a thing in the inner circle. There's someone you can go to and say, my child, they said he's doing this sort of thing. How do you think I can address it? And this is not a knowledge that you can see on Facebook, Instagram, or Google Chrome. No, this is liquid wisdom, like knowledge that you will get, and in the practicality, you see results. So I can get my
Amazing.
child to sleep for 5 minutes. A lot, a lot, a lot,
Amazing.
a lot is
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Blessing is sharing, her joy. No, every other has something to say. If you bring
every
every
other.
other back to back, even the
Yes,
ones that only followed for 1 month, trust me, they have
yes,
a lot to say, a whole lot.
yes,
And that's the beautiful thing about the inner circle. 100 and something people watching at 8 a.m. only happens in the yard.
yes.
Thank you so much for sharing your journey. There's something Blessing said. She said 24 hours is enough. You're going to hear me say that every time. The moment you begin to say, I don't have time, watch it. You a poor time manager. You can't manage your time, it means you can't manage your life. And it means that your life is not transforming. Trust me, anytime, any day. 24 hours is enough. And the things I do in 24 hours, I watch movie, I can watch movie 24 hours. I can play with my husband. I go to the gym. I do sessions. I write book. I read in that
Eh?
24 hours. All right. It is
Yes.
enough. Okay. And Blessing talked about profiling herself. I've spoken about profiling herself. It's the tangibility that Yadas come out with that is the most amazing part of the inner circle journey. They came out with rot, and it's not, they now gave me theory, I cannot apply it. No, we're talking about applicable knowledge. That's what wisdom is, applicable knowledge. Some others in the inner circle will say liquid wisdom. Coach is liquid wisdom. I don't know all of the names that they call me. I don't know where they get it from. That there's something I saw. It was something that Professor Christy Swecken put on the screen, and it says the devil is ever willing to buy our families. Blessing said something.
Yes.
She said, when you do not look at your family, hey, when you do not look at it as a business, you will run it down and someone will buy it. Profound.
Mhm.
You will run it down and somebody will buy it. And the devil is ever willing, waiting with money, a lot of it, to buy off your families. And it's an end time agenda. That's the truth. Recently, no, 2 days ago, there was an internet buzz where Nelson Mandela's grandchild died of cancer. So I was reading up on Nelson Mandela's grandchild. I like history a lot. It's one of the things I do in my fun times, reading history of the world. I love it. I travel anywhere. I can go studying just history. Because I want to know how people thought, how people became who they became. I like reading biographies. I like reading. So I just like to, learn about people, because my pastor will say that if you want to actually be able to grow, then you need to learn about men who have actually been there. And I was looking at the history of Nelson Mandela, and I was looking at this girl. They said because she was in spotlight, she battled with drugs, she battled with abuse, she battled. There were too many things about her story, and it got me thinking. Somebody said, we were having a conversation with my friends. Somebody said, at what cost did Mandela do all of this fame?
Mm.
And we were discussing it and we're saying, Mandela, a lot of things happened to his generation just because, he wanted to fight for a country. Now, it's easy for us to sit back and point hand at Mandela. And I said something in
Mm.
that conversation. I said, are there no ways that every single one of us is playing Mandela in our lives?
Mm.
And I said something. I like to point back at myself. My pastor said yesterday during the midweek service, if you're reading the scripture and you are not personalizing it, you don't have Rema. Forget about all these
Okay.
rema. Tell them. No,
Mm,
you
mhm,
reflect on yourself. And I started to reflect on my personal journey. And I said something to them. I said, something has held me accountable all my life. My husband will say, there is always something to sacrifice. But
mm,
every point in time, Coach Olakunle Shoyan, who is a mentor to my mentor, will say that there is always you being a slave to something. The problem will
mm,
be what are you enslaved to per time.
mm, mm,
Now, a
mm,
lot of us can say Nelson Mandela did not parenting, look at his generation. But how are we subjugating, how are we substituting some of these things?
mm.
Are we sacrificing our children on the altar of fame?
Ignorance.
Many of the times, our children are actually the burnt offering. You cannot raise anybody in assumption. And that's what happened to Nelson Mandela. With all the things that he had, mighty man of valor, I've read a lot about him, amazing
Mm,
person. But
mm,
transference of legacy is not done by proxy. That's what happened to his generation. He spent 18 years, 23 years in prison. That was the peak of his life. He was not there to actually be able to transfer legacy. But he had legacy. So
mm,
legacy is not
mhm,
automatic. You can have
mm.
legacy and you will not be able to replicate because
Okay.
you do not understand that you need to actually be there for transference of legacy. Parenting is transference of legacy. You cannot, I say again, raise anybody and transfer legacy in assumption. Anybody
Mm,
picks legacy of the person who is present.
mm,
There is a thing about being there. So a lot of us, it's easy to point out and say, oh, pastors' children are always useless. Oh, this is always there. Hey, did, and all of that. Take it back to yourself.
mm,
Am I sacrificing my marriage on the altar?
mm,
What am I slave to for time? For every time that I have an achievement, I'm writing a book, I ask myself, what am I giving up for this? Is it worth it? In the next 20 years, will I be able to say I did this and it's worth it? On
mm,
what is it worth to me?
mm,
These are the conversations. So it's easy
mm,
to point fingers. It's easy to say, oh, it's not the same thing. And dear, Nelson Mandela is somebody who has saved the world. How about you? In your small inkling, in your small
mm,
impact, what are you transferring?
mm,
Transference of legacy can never be done if you're not present. So
mm,
being there is a big deal. So you can be everything. Professor
mm,
of this, the leader of this amazing person. I was listening to Bishop Oyedepo when he was addressing the new intake, all right, of the new intake of what's it called, the Covenant University students. And he said to
incidents.
them, research says that 80% of wealthy people, their children get lost in the midst of it, and they are not able to replicate their legacy. Have you ever asked
Mm,
why? 80% is a huge number. Have you ever asked why?
yes.
Because legacy transference is not done in absentia. Many people who run the race of being able to get to that level lose their generations. So it is very interesting. Sometimes we're actually losing our generations without knowing because you
Mm,
have actually prioritized the wrong thing. And that's why for everything, that's why I don't teach balance. I don't teach balance because you can't balance it. That's why I teach essentialism. At every point in time in your life, what is more essential than what? What is more essential than what? In your small space, what exactly are you doing? Are you also replicating the system of being a Mandela? Or you're just shouting, ah, Mandela was not there. How much there can you be? Some of us are even there but not there. That's a
mm.
conversation. Because what was the most impactful book that you've read in the inner circle and why? How did that?
Wow. In December, we read Family Value and Family Media Guide. In January, my first year, I read Connect to Correct. I bought, like Coach said just now, that's what are you sacrificing? What are you slaved to? I had that very well. I got all my books from Witty Mind Store. They dispatched to my states. I paid for all sessions, external courses, paid and free, so that I can actually follow through on my process. The second time I was reading Connect to Correct, I thought I was crying. And Coach said something, no, 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 just now. She said, and I learned from her that we can say you love your child and the love is not felt. So I can buy presents, but my presence is not felt. I can take my children out and I'm not actually taking them out. Seriously, it is very possible. I read Connect to Correct again, and that night, for me not to have forgotten that experience, I cried, busted into tongues, and I started praying to God again for my life. It was a book, oh, Connect to Correct. Yes. You say a book. How many pages? Okay. Buy and read first. Read again. Then read again with understanding. And then this our book, Raising Boys and Raising Girls. That book. When I bought my books, okay, this was what happened first. When I bought all the books, I said, hey, these are the books I'm going to read. Me, I've left school since when now? What is it with books again? You will read though, because it is in what you know. It is in what is here that can help you. So when your child is misbehaving, there is something in your head that is saying, okay, okay, let's do it like this. Okay, we can actually undo him like this. We will undo the situation with knowledge, not just anyway. Raising boys, all the books, coach. Yeah, the one we read, resolving sibling rivalry. As at the time last year that we read the book, I was having that same issue in my family, sibling rivalry. My mom just passed, and oh my goodness, a lot became messy. When after the burial, my husband said something to me. He said, "Wow, well done, you tried." I boasted in myself. It was the knowledge I got from resolving sibling rivalry that helped me. I read the books like 3 times. Back, see, you just start that you will run kata when you don't have the right solution to what you're looking for. So I was carrying the book in my hand. Okay, 7 6 to resolving. Okay, 7 hours. Okay, so what am I to? I was looking for practical steps. And the book helped me when I'm supposed to shout and talk anyhow back at my siblings. Coach, I'm like this. Because of some words you would say at the time that would scatter and spoil things. I learned it from that book. Those books are divine. Then maintain your white by Antetima. That one, you say it's for teenagers. No. Even if you're an old man, an old woman, you still need to read. You pick 1 or 2 things and you will run with it. All our books, coach. All the books. Connect to Correct was it for me. And if I say I should still read it again, discipline that works. That one. I'll carry like this. I'll look at my boy. I'll look at my son. Okay, what can I do? And you will be looking for practicality in the book that she wrote. Why? Because she's pouring herself in those books. So you can't say discipline that works is my favorite. And then let's the independent thinking child. And then I have all the books. Using the independent thinking child, there's a section at the back that has chores, age appropriate chores for children. Those ones I crafted it out like a tearing book. I didn't say the book, oh, like your tearing book. I tore it out and wrote it out, then printed and pasted it. Because even myself, there are skills that I need at this age. I'm just learning to swim because I'm afraid of water. Coach said she was once afraid of water too, but then she's not a guru. There is none of the book. See, like I said, inner circle affected me 360 degrees. Webinars, I said there is none you would listen to. There will be some that are very exceptional to you. Yeah, I know that. But there is none of them you can discard because there's something in it for you, for your life, for your journey, for whatever. The books, if you read them, if you read them, Why you act the way you do? I said it earlier that I got to know my boss. So this is why my boss is doing like this. Then I started praying for him. Then I, I forgot. Coach, I don't need to tell you what I've done. I've stood to abuse my boss before. Like, what is? Don't come and tell me this. Yes, if you said anything now, so I've defined a coping mechanism. I will just be writing something instead of talking back. I'm writing. I'm not writing something meaningful, no, but I'm writing instead of talking back at you, or I'm painting. Yes, I paint with my boy too. Inner circle will teach you those things. Yes. So all the books, coach, they are amazing. I keep record of the paintings my son does. I put dates. I have coach said our children, she wanted to have a moving library. I want to have a moving library to come and see my son's library. We read every night. Every
Amazing.
night. Whether I'm tired, I want to sleep. So that's why I said it's not your regular 3-year-old. His speech is not here. Is the way he talks. You would know that someone will tell you that you this boy. How old are you? How can he can confront you and tell you, mommy, are you okay? He was telling his uncle one day, and they told me, and he said, "You don't beat me. I am just." He mentioned in his name, and he said, "Hey, you." That is what enough can teach you. All of our books, all of our
Amazing.
books. So I have my library after joining Inner Circle. All of our books, don't even go there. They are second to none.
Amazing.
Amazing
Amazing.
books. You read one, you
Amazing.
want to read again.
Amazing. So we have Blessing sharing her intentional parenting journey, and she's been amazing. I don't think anybody should miss this session. Even for me, there was so much life, so much vibe in it. So Blessing, in closing, can you share with everybody listening to you? Some people are saying, my children are too small. Where do I start? Are you sure that this thing is also going to help me? Oh, this amount of money. Are you sure that this thing, when I pay it, is it not all this coaching that they do that we don't understand? All these coaches that come to deceive us online. Over to you, Blessing.
Yes, you have every right to ask questions and you have every right to doubt. But then I've had people that have argued with me several times and some are still arguing. But I have testimonies from people that have joined TIP Inner Circle. 5, 6, 7, 10, still counting. And I said, I'm not going to stop. So if you are there still doubting or considering that what are they saying? I also came in and like, let me try and see what they want to do. I don't even know. This money is it's just the money. You eat every day. You wear clothes every day. You make your hair when they are rough, or you barb it when you don't want to. Start saving up. Yes, create a piggy bank for yourself. You can do it only if you put your mind to it. Because what you will get, you think you've read books, you're a learned person. Yes, we're learned too. But what you're going to get is on another transformational level. Quote me anywhere. Now, I want to say this. I'm Oparemi blessing. You now entered in less than 6 months and you are not comfortable. What you're getting is just, so what is it? Come back for a refund. We are many on this table. Oh. Come back for a refund. Because you would say, where have you been? That you have not been in the yard all the while. Don't say your child is small because there is something for that baby that is just coming out from your womb. Don't say I'm still single. There is something for the single. Don't say my marriage is 365 years. There is something for you. Because currently what I'm doing now is I want to bring in our grannies. Our grannies need to also learn something, but there's something to still give to the generation before they pass on. Don't doubt. Don't think it twice. As you are hearing, book. Book. Just book your slot like right away. And if you're going to catch a replay, these are my last words to you. Don't doubt, don't ask too many questions. When you're asking them, the other spirits will come and meet you. But just quote me anywhere today. That blessing said, you're going to experience a transformational and a mind shift when you get into the inner circle. I'm waiting to see us all. I, particularly, am waiting to see millions coming into the yard. And if you're there listening to me and you're still looking at me with one eye, please Just smile and text. Book your slots today, and you'll be glad you did.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So there are a lot of yadas who are ready to refund you. As in, they are not
Yes,
afraid. They are
we
not
are many
afraid.
on the tables.
It was Brenda that maybe said, Coach, thank you for giving me something I can sell proudly. I sell it. I'm like,
Yes.
don't worry. If you don't see result,
Mhm.
come for your money. All right. And there's Professor Chris Iswek is here. There are many others who are ready to refund you. Thank you so much, Oparemi Blessing. Who agrees with me that blessing is a whole vibe? In the comment section. Let us have that in the comment section. It is just an amazing session this morning. In fact, as we was talking, I was ginger. I think I like sanguines a lot. There's a ginger that they bring to your life. You can't just you can't just come in, you meet a sanguine and you're just there trying to be, you can't even be depressed. How? Thank you so much for joining me
Thank,
this morning. I
thank
love you.
you.
I honor you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for being here.
Thank you,
Thank you
Ma.
so much for
Thank you
being
so much.
in this space and for
Thank you
sharing
so
your journey. Yadarikari.
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much for sharing your journey,
Thank you.
Yadarikari, and all
Thank
of the
you.
fire that you
Thank
were able
you.
to speak here. Thank you so much. You've had blessing. I'm going to let blessing go. She's at work. Yadas take out their time. You see, Yadas, the ones that stream from Canada, from the US, middle of the night, they are awake. Yadas don't have
Yeah.
excuses because
Mm-mm.
champions don't give excuses. That's who we are. We are champions, and that is it. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
being here.
Thank
All right,
you.
so we just had a Oparemi Blessing share her intentional parenting journey. One thing that you want to take away, that Blessing said today, is that parents must be seen as a business. That's something that I say. But she added something. She said, if you do not build that business, you will run it down and someone else will buy it. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. And it was Professor Chris Second that said, the devil is ready to buy. Hey, the devil is ready to buy with money. A lot of it. You need to begin to ask yourself questions. Questions in the place of, am I really building my business to the point where I will not run it down and I will need to give it up because of bankruptcy? Have you bankrupted your family that the devil is actually aborted? Thank you so much for being here this morning. Can I tell you for free? If you finish hearing my intentional parenting journey from the others, and we still need convincing for you to actually join in the inner circle, I don't know what else. That means you need a laying of the hand. That means you need physical session with so that we can lay hands on you. That's why we're bringing the inner circle parents to come and share their journey themselves. So that you're not saying, coach said there was one woman when she joined, this is what happened to her. No, 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 no. In my latest book, Discipline is Not an Emergency, part of what we wrote at that end, Discipline is Not an Emergency, was to put up, right, where, reviews of parents. I had to go and paste it the way it was shared. Nothing, broken, nothing, nothing removed. All right. If you don't need, so that you're being able to feel the tangibility of what can happen right in the inner circle. My name is Wendy Ologe, and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. A lot of the others will call me Mama Cathedral, which is topmost of the list of the name that you will hear. Some will say liquid wisdom. Some will say the Ndaboski of parenting. Whatever name you choose to call me, some will say the Bishop of parenting. Trust me, I answer you all. Because Apostle Paul was the one who said, I became all things to all men to propagate the gospel. That's who I am. I become all things to all men. And when you get into the academy, you find this in real terms. You became all things to all men so that the gospel can be propagated. Some people, will come in and ask, who is this youth colored haired woman that is just everywhere and celebrated in this manner? Don't worry. Get into the inner circle. and we will have you understand this whole process. Trust me, you cannot transfer legacy in abstraction. And like every single one of us sit down, castigating the people who have done it wrongly, let's remember that the next generation is also going to profile what we have done. Are you a Nelson Mandela also? Right in your home, right in your small micro place. Are you also being that person, that person who is not there? You're absent and you want to transfer legacy. With everything you have, believe you me, if you do not intentionally walk this process, you will fail at it. Because transference of legacy, that's the real thing parenting is about. So you can have it all and will not know how to transfer that legacy that you're building. Get into the ark, like Coach Ebuka would say, because the inner circle is the ark in our time. I call it the place of separation because you see, everything that is happening in the world will keep happening. It will keep happening. It's not even going to reduce. So all the panic you share, it's not going to go away. It's going to be there. And it will be worse. In the next 30 years, there will be more gay parents than there will be parents who are really married to male and female. How prepared are you for the world that will come? Because like Olakunle will say, what will come will come. And like I will say, what will come have already come. It's already here. And there's no running away from it. Don't forget, if you do not book a slot now, you will wait for another 365 days for you to join the 2025 cohort. Book your slot, spread your payment between now and 1st of December, and I can assure you, if you attend the induction and you feel this thing that they are doing here, it's not really, something that and all of that, then you will know that we have lied to you. According to my friend Kuchitima, she will say, I lied not in the name of Jesus. This is my testimony for being in the inner circle. Thank you so much again, Mrs. Blessing Oparemi, who have been here sharing all of the vibes. I know that you could feel the vibe. I felt it. All right. And do not forget to join us tomorrow. Dr. Celestina is going to be here at 8 a.m. sharing with us all the way from Port Harcourt. You want to be here. You want to listen to her journey. I love that we bring people from all walks of life, professionals, everybody that you can think of. We love that we have it all. So that you're not saying, it's only people who do not have work, or it's only people who have work, or it's only people. So it's all encompassing. It is all encompassing. A system where you have military men who are on assignment right in the yard. System where you have professors, PhD holders, medical doctors. According to, it was Dr. Prince that said your PhD will not matter by the time you get into the academy. Thank you so much for joining me again this morning. All right. If you want more details about the inner circle and you are looking for all of the things that you can look at the description of this video and you look at the frequently asked questions and you think you want more questions, you want to understand more things, please send a chat to the number that is scrolling right below this conversation and you will see, you will be able to actually ask the team what it is that you need. I look forward to having you tomorrow again at 8 o'clock. See you and have an amazing day. See you at the cathedral. Did I tell you that this place is actually called the cathedral? Thank you so much for being here. And if you're looking to get any of our books, you can actually talk to the admin. All right, all the books are available. You can talk to them. And writing books is one of the mandates I have for my generation to transform the parenting system. And that's why the books that I write are transformational. They are not your ordinary parenting book. Trust me, they are transformational. Get a copy, even if you're waiting, start reading and start gingering yourself as you go. Thank you and have an amazing, amazing day.